what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com, and I am in Tuscany, Italy still. I've got about another 2 weeks in Italy before I return back, but I thought I'd do a quick follow-up video on the video I did about saying I was learning Italian since I'm actually here in Italy, and tell you a little bit about how that worked out since I took the Pimsleur courses. I finished the Pimsleur before I got to Italy, and I thought I'd give you an update on, and that's basically what I did. I did a little bit of Duolingo as well. I was looking at this Link Q thing, or Link, maybe it's called Link, it's probably called Link, and that looks pretty cool, but I didn't really spend much time doing that. I did, like I said, mostly the Pimsleur method, which I was a little bit skeptical of. I mean, I didn't feel when I finished level 5, I didn't feel like I could really, I was hoping I could speak fluently, but, a lot of people, I kind of knew that wasn't going to be the case, but it wasn't. But I will tell you that when I got here to Italy and started talking, trying to, speak in Italian, it actually turned out really well. I was very, very surprised at how much I could communicate just from the Pimsleur. It sort of, some of the stuff that I didn't realize that I knew, and actually for speaking, it worked great, right? I couldn't understand shit. It's kind of funny. What was it was like, I was thinking of this joke to say, maybe I'll tell, for my Italian friends, you'll get this. If I say, parlare molto italiano, ma non comprende niente. I speak a lot of Italian, but I understand nothing. That's the translation there. So I might be slightly wrong, but someone will correct me in the comments below. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So as far as speaking it, I was very, very surprised. Not only was I able to communicate what I wanted in stores, to buy things, to talk to people, like some basic stuff, but I was able to communicate it with a pretty authentic accent as far as they told me, right? Now, I know that some of you are going to say, no, John, you suck, but hey, it's cool, but at least people could understand what I was saying, and they were pretty impressed. Everywhere I've gone so far, they've been kind of like, wow, that's really good. They've been surprised, because I usually, when I talk to someone, I usually say sto imparando italiano, and they, just so they know, that just means I'm learning Italian, and or I say parlare Italian, un po' l'italiano, and they give me a little bit of a break. It's kind of been interesting too. I say, just to give you kind of the brain dump on all of what I'm thinking here, is that a lot of the touristy places, when I would try and speak Italian, they just want to speak to me in English. They just want to, they don't even care. They're like, fuck you, dude, just speak English, right? And I tell them, I'm trying to learn Italian or whatever I'm practicing, but they don't really care very much. But when I went to some of the smaller places, especially, wow, the whole sky just lit up from lightning, like Cinque Terre, which is beautiful. It's an awesome place. A lot of the vendors and stuff there, they, when I spoke Italian, they lit up, because they're so used to having, I guess, a lot of, if they do have, they have a lot of American tourists there, but very rarely does an American tourist actually speak Italian, and so they were very, very happy. It's actually helped me a lot, even, just, I was here in one of the stores in one of the cities here, and I bought these kick-ass shoes. I have to show you these leather boots and this leather belt. It was like $400 shoes or something, boots, but which is expensive, yes, I know, but they're awesome. So anyway, I got a pretty big discount on the shoes, because I was able to communicate to the guy in Italian. He's like, oh, since you asked in Italian, I give you a discount. I know. He probably, I'm probably getting jacked a little bit, probably getting ripped off anyway, but I'm gonna pretend like he actually gave me a discount, okay? But no, I honestly think he did. All joking aside, I think that he was very happy. It's it's really interesting, I think, because I've traveled in a lot of different countries, and this is the first time I've traveled in a country and been able to speak the language to some degree, and people really are excited that you're trying to speak their language. They're very, very welcoming, very happy for the most part, right? Like I said, in Rome, it wasn't quite the case, but everywhere else I've been, pretty much people have been happy about that. So I gotta say, yeah, I mean, I've still got a long way to go, of course, right? But it's sort of, I'm trying to think about, I feel like, I was going to do this video on learning a programming language versus learning a real language, and maybe I'll do one when I have another one when I have better experience about it. But I have to say this so far, what I figured out about it, which is it's very similar. Like, I feel like for me, Italian just started to click, and I can understand, like, all of a sudden, like, I'm picking up phrases that people are saying, and I'm understanding it all of a sudden, right? There was this long period of time of it doesn't make any sense, I'm not able to really communicate very well or speak very much, and I don't understand what anyone's saying, to all of a sudden, oh yeah, I can, it's like I'm listening to English underwater, right? Like, I'm picking up little pieces of the stuff, but I'm getting enough understanding. And when I go into a store and converse with someone, I'm okay. Like, I immediately feel like I feel, I don't want to say smooth, but it doesn't feel so rough, if that makes sense. So that was pretty cool. And I just thought it was also just a pretty cool experience to just be able to do that, right? It was fun. It was totally worth it. So, it took a lot of time. I've been doing the Pimsleur every day for about 5 months, which is quite a commitment. But I'm going to keep on learning. I'm going to get a tutor next. I think will be the next thing that I do, and that'll be cool. Maybe do like lessons once or twice a week, and yeah, I think it's going to be fun. So anyway, I have to say that I recommend the Pimsleur. It was well worth it, especially if you're going to travel somewhere. It's probably worth taking the 5 or 6 months to learn enough of the language, because it really improved the trip for me, to being able to do that and being able to practice it. And yeah, and I was, like I said, I think the way that Pimsleur does it, my vocabulary isn't huge, right? But because it has you speaking it, and it has you speaking it before you see it, before you read it, it tends to improve the way that you say it, right? So your pronunciation and everything is pretty good, as far as I understand, not being a native Italian speaker, but having talked to a lot of Italians that have said, oh wow, you sound like a native speaker almost. Like, I mean, of course I could tell, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a big difference between if you just kind of book learned it first. So I'm going to figure out what to do next here. Like I said, I think tutor at this point. But the other thing about this is that I feel, again, this is my first language. So those of you that have learned multiple languages, you can, correct me if I'm wrong here, or weigh in your thoughts. But I feel like I have enough of a grasp of Italian that I can, I can grow that much easier than, when you first start out, right? It's like, because there's enough of it that I can actually converse with people, I can learn more as I'm conversing, right? Whereas if you don't know enough to even really start a conversation at all, then you're not going to learn anything, because it's too much. So I think doing something like Pimsleur, again, is not something that is going to make you fluent in a language, but it's going to give you enough of a start that when you'll be able to converse with people, which is where you're really going to grow and learn from the language. At least that's what it seems like. I mean, just in the short period of time that I've been here in Italy, maybe like 2 weeks, my Italian has improved drastically, right? My comprehension has at least tripled, and I feel like my ability to speak it has increased quite a bit as well. So, all right, that's all I got for you. Anyway, maybe I'll do an update in 2 weeks here to see, how things have improved beyond that. But I think that's all I got. So I have to say arrivederci, and let's see, what is see you later, isn't it? The thunder is telling me I'll see you later. So, all right, I'll talk to you later next time. Take care.